Well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to do the ever popular 10 things that are saving my life right now. So if you are not familiar with this, basically you just list 10 things. It can be anything that is saving your life right now. The only thing quite literally saving my life is the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. So it's not like a literal sense saving my life, but these are just things that are really making my life rich right now. My sister and I were just having a conversation recently about how it's the little things in life that bring us joy. When we look at simple things like food, I've talked about this with my children before. God could have just given us one food to eat. You know, we could just have plain oatmeal, you know, and have this one flavor, this one kind of bland thing that sustains us, and that's what we eat, and we're thankful for it. But He chose to give us bountiful food and flavor profiles and things that have fat and acid and heat and sweet and all of these different flavor profiles that we can combine together. And so it's not an excuse to be gluttonous, of course, but it is a reason for us to just rejoice and say, this is a good gift from God. Let's enjoy it. Let's be creative with it. And I think that looking for joy in the small things is really kind of what this idea is about, this whole 10 things that are saving my life. I'm trying filming in a new spot today, and if you don't know, we live in what is called in the States a mobile home. Some people call it a trailer. I don't really like that term, but it is a mobile home. This is a modular unit. And if you're not familiar with our journey the past year, I will just link that down below. I'll also put a card up here that you can click on. We renovated a mobile home. It is around 900 square feet, and we completely kind of revamped it to work for our family of 4. One of the things about a mobile home is they are long and narrow because they are designed to be put on a trailer and transferred from the manufacturing site to wherever you're going to live. So I have good light in front of me with this window, but then I also have light behind me. So I'm not really sure how this is gonna work out. This is like a trial location. We'll see. Also, we have games behind us that are very messy, and it's just, as we've moved in, this is a smaller space and we are learning to live with it. There are more plans that I have for storage and for making things look the way I want them to, but we are also really committed to living debt-free, which means that we don't do a project until we have the money for it. It's something that is hard. It's something we're not always perfect at and something we're growing in. But anyway, that's why games are there. So now that you know a little bit about me and where we live and why things are the way they are, let's dive into these 10 things. All right, the first things are these corduroy scrunchies. These were actually a gift, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like them because I was trying to use them more as like a bun and they were pulling my hair. But if I use them low, they don't really pull. I think that the set may have, I'm pretty sure it was larger at one point, and I gave a couple of them to my niece that just weren't like my favorite colors. But I have these 3. So there's like a dusty blue, there's a beige, and there is a burnt orange. This one in particular I have been loving. I wore it in my, was it my pumpkin carving video when I was like cleaning the house, and I just really like the way that a scrunchie or a claw clip, I think that's the reason why claw clips have kind of become more popular again and kind of resurged from the 90s when they were super popular. You know, we like a ponytail, we like a messy bun, but something about making it a little bit more decorative is fun. So these 3 scrunchies, but especially this one in particular, make the list. All right, my second one, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I've been trying to get into reading more. I Googled something fun to read in the fall, like a good series I could get into. And one of the things that came up was Harry Potter. I've watched the Harry Potter movies. I read some of the books as a kid, but I didn't read them all. So I actually just finished the first book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and loved it. I'm not gonna give any spoilers if you haven't read it, although, you know, it's kind of been out for a while at this point, but I'm not going to give any spoilers. But I will just say I was pleasantly surprised with how close I felt it was to the movie. You know, since I've seen the movie first, I could like hear and see the characters saying and doing the things that were happening, and I thought this is a pretty direct representation. You know, you're always going to have to leave some things out in a movie. You can't possibly fit everything in, but I thought it was a really good depiction, you know, pretty close. So just yesterday I went to the library and put the second one on hold, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So I will be waiting on that to come in. But that has just been a really fun, it is kind of like a good cozy read, and it's an easy read. It's really been enjoyable. The third one is Regular Walks with a Friend. So I used to take the kids on walks pretty regularly. When I had one child, we walked with the stroller, and then whenever up until I was very pregnant with Andy, I would walk with Abram and just kind of get my steps in. And then I got a stroller where I could do the car seat and then him in the front. And then we progressed to a side-by-side stroller, and we've just about outgrown the side-by-side stroller, which makes me very, very sad because some of my favorite memories are pushing them around town in that side-by-side stroller. I think I could still squeeze it, but at this point, when we go for walks, they want to walk on their own or they want to ride bikes, and I just want to strap them in the double stroller. But anyway, in this season of life, we haven't been walking as much, and I've missed it. Well, I've kind of been walking with a friend, and we've been meeting up every week or every other week, and I've enjoyed the conversation and discipleship, but I've also really enjoyed just being outside and walking again. So that makes the list at number 3. All right, number 4 is a food item. So we celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary in October, and we typically go out to dinner for our anniversary. So we were going to go to a really nice steakhouse, the type where everything is a la carte, very expensive, and we ended up waiting too late to make reservations. So we were like, what do we do? You know, is it lame to go somewhere that's like fancy to us but isn't like fancy? Essentially, we decided it's our anniversary and we can do whatever we want to do. So we went to Bonefish Grill. We're very simple people here. We don't need a lot. We enjoy simple things, and Bonefish Grill is fancy enough for us. You guys, they have a seasonal pumpkin ravioli right now, and everything we ordered was good. We got an appetizer of bang bang shrimp. We each got separate entrees. I got a steak, Brandon got swordfish, but we both got, as one of our sides, this pumpkin ravioli. It's actually something that I'm going to try to kind of loosely recreate the idea of, except I'm just going to use linguine with like a pumpkin sauce. It was just so good. So the ravioli had pumpkin in it, and it had all those, like, I think some rosemary, some sage. I just think sage smells like Thanksgiving. It just, I don't know, I guess it's like in the dressing, and some people season the turkey with it. It's just a very Thanksgiving-esque smell to me. So you had the pumpkin with like sage and rosemary, and I think there was maybe some cheese in there, but it was not very cheesy. It was very pumpkin-y. And then it had like a cream sauce over it, and then on top they had green onions. They had some of those like French fried onions, and then they had feta cheese. It was the best thing I had, other than the bang bang shrimp, which is like always a winner. It was so, so good. So I don't know if there's a Bonefish Grill close to you. I don't know if they still have this or how long they'll have it on the menu, but I'm telling you, it was so, so good. It was delicious. All right, number 5 will come as no shock if you have been around my channel recently, and that is my autumn capsule wardrobe. I've been doing Project 333, which is where you choose 33 pieces for the next 3 months, and that's all you wear in your wardrobe. I've really enjoyed the creative aspect of it, and also just feeling lighter and looking at my closet and it not being so packed full of items. It's just been a really, really fun process. I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed sharing it with you guys, and I think that you guys have enjoyed watching it as well. So there will definitely be more videos about that, about my outfits, kind of what I'm wearing in a week, and kind of troubleshooting some of those pieces. I'm also going to break down and share with you exactly what I chose and give you a wardrobe tour. But I have really enjoyed just this whole Project 333 experience. I will link Courtney Carver's website, Be More with Less. She is the creator of Project 333. And I'll also link the podcast that introduced me to it. It was from Dawn, the Minimal Mom, and she interviewed Courtney Carver, and it just clicked with me for some reason. All right, number 6 is kind of, yeah, we know, but I just can't help it. It's the color of the leaves. I have so enjoyed just seeing the leaves change and watching them fall, and I wish that I would have gotten some footage of this, but on our rides to and from school, there were some cotton fields, and seeing the stark white of the cotton with the backdrop of the orange and red and yellow leaves, it's just, we talked about how it looks like God just, you know, took a paintbrush and just painted the world. I always tell people that's one reason why I enjoy living in North Carolina, is because we truly get to experience all 4 seasons. We don't get that much snow, but we get to experience spring, summer, fall, and winter. We get to see the leaves change, the temperatures change. I also really love living here because in 3.5 hours I can be to the mountains or the beach, really. So that's like a plus. But yeah, the leaves have just been so pretty. We took a trip to the mountains and we got to drive on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and I could have driven on that parkway all day because the roads are pretty and the sides of the roads are so well kept. And so it's just such a fun experience. I think you could plan a mountain getaway and like just drive on the parkway, and awesome. Also, if you live in North Carolina, we went and hiked at Linville Falls, and that was such an enjoyable experience. Next time we go, I want to go earlier in the day and take like a picnic lunch so we can hike all the way up and then do different lookouts to the falls. We got there kind of later in the day, so we didn't get to do that, but it was so fun. I think maybe next time we go, maybe we'll wait till it's a little warmer and then we can just like spend most of our day there. All right, number 7 is colored lip balms. I'm very simple when it comes to makeup. I like to wear makeup, but I like to wear minimal. So I typically wear like a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer on my face. I do a cream blush and a bronzer. I don't really wear eyeshadow unless it's a special occasion. I just do mascara. I do like a simple brow, and then I wear something on my lips. So typically in the summer, I was reaching for this one. It's a CoverGirl and it is like a coral color. But in the fall, I've kind of reverted back to this Burt's Bees. It's in the color Rose. Actually, when I looked at the store recently, I couldn't find it. So maybe it's something that you can order online, or maybe your store does have it. But I really appreciate something that is more of a chapstick feel. I have tried the lip colors that are like matte. That does not work for me. I'm not a matte person. This is also not a product that is going to stay all day. It is not one of those that claims to be like, you can wear it 8 hours and not have to touch it up or whatever. This just gives a little color to my face, and then it'll wear off some throughout the day, and I'm totally okay with that. And it's what I'm wearing right now, actually. So it's just very simple, very subtle. All right, number 8 is hanging curtains in our bedroom. So as we've moved into the little house, we have just kind of done things little by little. We've kind of been deciding how we want to dress the windows. Luckily, we are kind of back off the road here, but it is still kind of nice to have some privacy and just be able to pull curtains or blinds or what have you. Also, it's just decorative. So I got my dad to hang these curtains in our bedroom. We got the curtain rods from Amazon. I may eventually get some different curtains, but for right now, these are the ones that we used in our last house. They were a yard sale find, I think, maybe a marketplace find, I can't remember, but they were originally from IKEA. And what I ended up opting to do on this wall, it may not be to everybody's taste, and that's totally okay. I ended up deciding to just do one panel on either side and kind of just framing out the windows. I felt like it made the room look bigger than if we had 4 separate panels. I felt like that just would have broken things up too much. I also hung the curtain rod a little bit higher. I kind of wonder if I should have hung it even higher still, but that's one thing that Michael and Smith from the Nester, she talks about, is hang your curtains higher and wider than you think you need to. So there are several windows that still need to be done in the house, and some places that I don't quite know what I'm going to do yet, but it feels good to have that one finished. And when I sit in bed at night and look at it, I'm pleased with how it looks. All right, number 9 is super random, but on, I don't even know which streaming service it is. I don't know if it's Amazon or Disney Plus. One of my husband's favorite shows is Home Improvement with Tim Allen from the 90s. And I loved that show growing up. And Brandon has been watching it some recently. He's currently recovering from knee surgery. So I would appreciate your prayers for that. But he's recovering from knee surgery, and so he's been watching that, and I've been watching it with him. And it is just such a funny show. It's just classic. The jokes are funny, and the things that they talk about are really representative of like a normal American family. And Wilson with his little like face behind the fence, it's just a fun show. So Brandon and I have been watching that some together. It's also just fun to like have a show that you watch through with your spouse. You know, obviously there needs to be a lot more bonding in marriage than just watching a show, but I do think there's something about having something that you can watch together and kind of go through it. We've done that with a few different shows, and we don't do it a lot, but it's something that I wish we would do more, is just kind of always have a show going and maybe one night a week or 2 nights a week, just like watch a little bit of it. So number 9 is home improvement. All right, and the last one really kind of goes back to Project 333, but it's more than that, and it is just simplifying. I knew when we moved to the little house, we were moving from a pretty large house. It had a large living room, it had high ceilings, it had a closet that was like as big as my kid's bedroom is now. It was just a really big house. We enjoyed our time there and it was a great house, but I knew that when we moved here that we were gonna have to make some sacrifices with space. But I also suspected that those sacrifices would turn into blessings, and I'm seeing that come true. I'll probably make a whole video kind of talking about living in a small space, but you're less able to hide things in a small space. This can be clutter. This can also be emotions. You know, you're in a small space, so you're closer to each other, you're closer to your stuff, and there's less place to shove things. There's less place for things to hide. It's kind of a hard thing, but it also makes you confront your clutter and say, am I really using these things? Or how can I use this space well? So it is an ever-growing process. I am not at all even close to mastery, but simplifying has really helped, and I think that we will just kind of continue that process of having what we need and only having what we need, and being really blessed by that in this space. Okay, well, there are my 10 things that are saving my life. This was a little longer than I thought it would be, but I guess I just felt chatty today. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I have some exciting videos coming for November and December. If there's anything that you would like to see or anything that you're looking forward to, let me know that down in the comments. And I would love to know what are some things that are saving your life right now. All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate you, and I will be talking to you soon.